call the meeting to order and have introductions. We,
Yeah, you want me to start?
sure.
Emily Collins, CDA.
Bob Blanc, Port of Umatilla, CDA.
Joel Peterson, Port of Morrow, CDA.
John Schaefer, Umatilla County, CDA.
Jeff Winholt, Morrow County.
Lisa Middlesdorf, Port of Morrow alternate.
Jason Middleton, Port of Umatilla.
Ryan DeGroff, Business Oregon.
And then online we have JD
JD Tubby, CTYR.
and Doug Olson.
Doug Olson, Umatilla County.
And Elizabeth Howard.
Elizabeth Howard, attorney at Schwabe, attorney for CDA.
Okay, is there any public comment? Does the CDA do a sign up sheet too, or
I haven't done one in the past, but we can.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
We don't have to if we haven't needed to. Is there anybody have a comment? Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
On the minutes or something I want to talk about on page 3, so I'll ask to pull up now.
Pull those out. Okay, we'll do that.
With that being said, I'll move for approval of items B and C in the consent agenda.
Okay,
Second that.
moved and seconded to approve B and C. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. There we go. Now we're back to the meeting minutes. Page 3.
Page 3, the last sentence. And it says, Mr. Winholt asked if the fee to be reimbursed by the grant. I don't know if I said the grant. If that's what it was taken from the recording, I guess that's what I said, but I know that my intention would have been, I would have thought that I would have said by those receiving the property.
Hmm.
Oh,
Because
Yeah.
we're talking about the MOA and paying the Umatilla County's fee for that. So I was thinking that whoever is receiving the property would be paying those expenses and not the CDA as a whole. But if it came verbatim from the recording, I guess that's what I said.
okay,
Yeah, and I can re-listen and make sure I correct that.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. And then there's the,
So I guess with that,
well, there's one.
she's gonna go back and research it. And I would tell you that we probably put that off.
Put that off.
Meeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's also a PRF and a RFP
Okay.
under work session number 5. It's, I assume it's all RFP.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, with that tabled, we'll move on to informational reports. I have Emily's update.
Yes. So first I have on there the 2024-2025 audit. The bookkeeper and I have continued working with our auditor on this. I was hoping to have it ready for your review at this meeting, but she sent me a draft that I had a few changes on last week, and she just sent me her most recent draft about an hour ago. So I'll have that ready for you at the next meeting. So hopefully we can review and approve, and I'd like to have her here present to present and ask, so you can ask her questions as well. And just as a reminder on that, we're gonna be working on the 2025-2026 audit as soon as this one completes, since that will be the end of the fiscal year. And we have 120 days to submit that next audit to be in compliance with our agreement with BRAC. So we should be right on time.
Okay, we should be caught up then.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah, and I guess any questions on
No, are there, I mean, I got lots of questions too.
that? Okay.
So it was a very thorough audit.
Yeah, she
I think, so, yeah. Uh-huh.
And then the programmatic agreement, if you all recall, after our meeting in DC, we learned that they were waiting for a legal description of Coyote Coulee to be completed in order to close that out. And with work with Adam from Schwabe and Kenny Delano, Kenny used his most recent surveys to put together a legal description for us. And we sent that off to BRAC and have not heard back yet, but I'll keep you updated as they review and hopefully are able to close out the programmatic agreement.
And so what all does that entail? That has to be done before we take any next step, or?
Not necessarily, it's just one specific
One
agreement
thing.
that they'd like to close out,
Close
and then, she said they would just take a step back from reviewing us as.
Okay,
And then member invoices, we received full payments from Umatilla County, CTYR, Port Morrow, and Port of Umatilla. I am not sure about Morrow County, I wasn't quite sure about the update on that one.
We're.
Oh, we need to-
We have-
Discussions.
Perfect,
yeah, on
Okay.
how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
because I know we do also owe a credit out to Port of Morrow, and, I was planning on processing that next week, taking a look at everything and seeing if we can send it out, or, how we're looking on funds in order to make those repayments back out. And then, since our new fiscal year starts at the beginning of next month, I just wanted to say that our 2026-2027 member contribution budgeted amount was 580,000, which leads to about 116,000 per member for the annual year.
Mhm.
And, I just wanted to see if you wanted me to continue invoicing you quarterly for those payments.
I think quarterly is a easier pill to swallow.
Perfect.
I think that I'd go along with that.
Okay, so quarterly, I'll send the first one out, this next one.
okay, that would be good. I'm thankful to the much headway's been made on this too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and for tomorrow, I will just have you paying 2 cents.
okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Move on to the auction.
Yeah, so the auction, last meeting you approved the, RFP, and we're waiting for a list from Port of Morrow on the personal property items they wanted to keep. We received that and then sent out the RFP on June 18th. So
Is, what day or,
on June 18th, and
oh,
all proposals are due back on the 21st
Of June
of July.
or July, okay. I was like, wait a minute.
okay.
So is there a possibility for any of the other entities to get some of the property before the auction, or what's that look like?
I'm not sure. It's totally up to you all, I think.
Cause I had, my public works director was asking that question. I said, well, I don't know. So. Because he's interested in a couple, heisters, I think it was.
I don't, I mean, we need to do something to do that. You want the board to take action on that, or?
I do have later on a note to discuss if there needs to be payment by Port of Morrow on those. I just have it noted as a question to go along with the purchase and sale agreements. So we can move this to that.
Okay, this
It's in
discussion,
the work session, if you'd like to.
okay.
That'll work.
Okay, road project.
Yeah, IRZ unfortunately wasn't able to meet here today, but, for a budgeting update, we received an invoice from Tapany that will, use the remaining 185,000 that we have from the ODOT grant. It does.
Has the ODOT grant been, has UEC gotten all that paperwork done and the,
So, Josh Burns just called me, but, the most recent update we received from them was Business Oregon says everything is in process and their staff have prepared a funding memo that is underway, which will kick off their internal discussion, and that will result in a draft contract. Robert thinks that there may be a draft contract for UEC to review by the end of this month, but for sure by middle of July.
okay.
This just depends on the Department of Justice. if that happens.
Has CDA been billed for the last bill?
We have been billed, and based on my discussions with Port of Morrow, they are comfortable with carrying that
Carrying
difference.
that difference?
Yeah,
Okay. That doesn't show yet on the books, or?
it has not been processed yet. I'm about to send Port of Morrow a Tapany invoice.
Okay.
That will start that.
Let's start that.
Yeah,
Okay,
but yeah, it's about 1.8 million, and we only have 185,000 in
Okay.
ODOT, so. But after that, After that payment to Tappy is made, there's only about $700,000 remaining in the project budget. So,
On the project, yeah,
yeah, in the project budget,
What will
and I do
happen?
have a construction update.
okay,
So the road is paved and all shoulder work is complete from the edge of the ODOT right of way to the west boundary of CDA property. All signage has been installed and striping has not yet been completed. There's been no recent update on their schedule for that, but plans to stripe the currently paved section are underway. And then they'll do the right of way section later. Once the paving there is done, the temporary road closure signs are currently in place on both sides, so. And as you know, the road construction cannot be completed until the proper permits are in place with Umatilla County. We submitted the master plan for their review and hopeful approval, but have not heard back yet. So, we're hopeful that that will happen soon, so we can move forward with that.
Mr. Chairman, question.
yes.
What, can you go back on that 1.8 million? What were you
Yes.
talking about there?
That's, the most recent invoice that we received from Tapani.
And you said we only have 285,000,
We have 185,000
185,000.
in our ODOT grant.
So,
So as of now, Portamore is carrying that difference for us.
okay, what about the money that came from,
Umatilla Electric.
well, no, that came from, didn't we put money, didn't Port of Umatilla put 2 million into that?
I don't think so.
That wasn't part of
No.
that money.
No,
Had to be used
sorry.
on the Umatilla County side. So what's the status of that difference?
The difference,
Or how
as
we
soon
got,
as,
what's the plan?
yeah, we're waiting for UEC, or it's business organ funding that's going through UEC to come in. And our application and everything has been submitted to business organ. We're just waiting for them to send us over a contract for Umatilla Electric to approve, and then I'll bring it to you all to approve and sign, so we can go under contract, and then as soon as that's under contract, we'll submit a reimbursement request. But it's
And it-
reimbursement based.
This is it the 5 million?
Yep, and it will
Grant-
3.9, there's
Right,
1.1 million remaining.
remain, right,
Yeah, and since our project is moving along, that's kind of where we're at. But, we cannot complete the ODOT right away until we have proper permits in place. So construction can't be completed until the master plan
is
is
it,
approved.
where's it at?
At Umatilla County, so they're in the process of approving it. Hopefully, they're reviewing,
Where's it at, okay,
yeah,
okay,
and, yeah, I don't think anybody from Umatilla County Planning is on today, and unfortunately, I received.
Bob Walter should be here later,
Oh,
before the
perfect, yeah, so
meeting's
if they
over.
have anything else.
so that,
But
They're
we're,
actually on, Emily. I don't know if you
Oh.
could see, but a couple of people joined and it looks like planning.
I think just Morrow County.
That's more, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So Emily, one more time on the
Yeah.
funds.
Yeah,
1.2 million you've been billed,
let me pull it up so I can tell you exactly what it was.
and that dips into the 3.9 of the UEC dollars.
Yeah, it
But
was.
the balance of that, another
yeah, that,
$2.5 million is yet to be built.
I have yet,
so there will be another bill from. Isn't that right?
yes, there will be another bill because the construction has not yet been completed.
Completed.
So I anticipate at least one more bill once they get the go ahead to finish paving. And then they paint and wrap up cleanup of that little section that they have left to do. If you've all seen the road, it's just that bit that connects the new road to the existing right of way, right off of the exit into the
Mhm.
property.
the main exit,
Yeah,
right there.
yeah. So
Okay,
it's not very much road at all that has not been completed yet, but. And
the exit off of 84, not the west one, right?
yeah, the exit off of Westland, the one
The
on.
one off of the west, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So, the most recent payment due is 1.8 million. And we have 185,000 in the ODOT grant. And I'll work with ODOT to close out that grant. I can't close it out until construction is complete, but we'll get all of the reporting and everything done since the funds will be. So,
And then there will be left funds available to the UEC, right?
Yeah. As far as we know, everything is moving smoothly with the UEC funding.
Okay,
Yeah. Robert has been great to work with, and him and Josh are on top of it also. So,
okay.
I know that was kind of a lot.
Okay. Any other?
Yeah, just as an update on cleanup of the property, we received notice from OMD that they'll be collecting groundwater samples and to assess ongoing treatment of the washout lagoons. This will take place after the 4th of July. JD and I and Lindsay from C2IR discussed with OMD if they can clear some roads to access our property, and it seems like everything will be good for them to go in and take those samples. And then also I attended the monthly call with OMD a few days ago, and they updated on the transfer of parcel 2 that they are working on a delineation map of parcel 2, and they're expecting to receive it any day. There was a little discrepancy in the parcel acreage, but they had it scheduled this week actually to go back and get it fixed. So that was their next step in getting that transfer to us. And that's all today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions? Comments? We can move into the work session then.
Before we do this, Bob with you?
Bob came
Here.
Oh, Bob Walden?
Yeah.
Yes. He'll be here shortly.
Okay.
Okay, we got another person over there, I'm sorry. There's quite a few people joining, so I'm just gonna write them down. Okay. And so on the work session, our first item was the financial policy. And Elizabeth and I went through the current financial policy and saw that it just didn't quite fit our current needs. We provided a red line copy. I don't know if you had a chance to review it or not, if you have any questions.
I have a question.
Okay.
The very first, well, I guess be the very top line,
Yes.
says the signers on the CDA bank account are the executive director and board members as designated by the board.
Yes,
And unfortunately, you are not on that list.
that's correct. Yeah. That was one of our questions with this policy is would you like the executive director to be on the account? An example of how it could be beneficial is I've been having to have John make all communications with the bank for me because I have not been, they won't communicate with anybody who's not a signer on the account. So any simple questions or anything has had to go through a board member, which is okay. It just makes things go a little bit slower.
And if they're using me, just so everybody knows, Emily asked if I would do it because a lot of the transactions are between the CDA and the port of Morrow.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't look good if you were doing it. So
Thank you.
I was, oh, it's, yeah. So I didn't mean that in a bad way, but just to be, transparent above board. So I think selfishly speaking, I would love it if she was a signer. So that's, but again, selfishly speaking. So.
It says designed by the board. Is it be designated? Is that, am I seeing that right?
Yes.
Okay. Although the board could design something, I suppose.
Was that left off because we were kind of between directors at that time? Or
Yeah, I'm not sure.
we just don't want, this is a policy and we don't want names in the policy.
Yeah, just because board members tend to
Come and go.
come and
come and
go.
go, and
And
we
it's
could
changed.
approve it each time, but we'd have to approve a change each
Change
time.
any, this
Yeah.
way. The board designates who can sign
Yeah.
with a separate action. Okay,
When I was looking at number 6,
Yeah,
and at the bottom of it, it's in the red line, disbursements reimbursing directors for CDA. Expenditures require 2 signatures and all other disbursements require 2 signatures. Should we maybe just have all disbursements require 2 signatures?
yeah, it seemed,
Because what else are you going
all
to
other,
have?
yeah.
mhm.
I think every one of them should be 2 signatures.
Uh-huh.
So you could strike the first sentence in that and just say all disbursements require
Or
2
two signatures. Mhm.
No, we're done. So it's
Yeah.
all disbursements.
All disbursements require. That. Are we using timesheets and payroll controls?
Yes, I do have timesheets. So as of right now, they're just with me. But
Uh-huh.
I would like to send them to you or to whoever the board would like to be approving them.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
for approval.
Probably the board chair for approval.
Yes, that's what,
yeah,
and that's what this,
yeah, that's what our
after you get
suggestion
through all
was.
the, and the, what it says, okay. Now there's chairman and president. Which is it?
Interchangeable.
Is it interchangeable?
I think so.
You don't want to do that in the corporate world.
Yeah.
But at any rate, I just,
Technically chair.
technical chairman, okay, because sometimes it says president. Okay,
Could make that consistent with what the bylaws refer to you as. So I don't remember offhand if it's president or chair, but we should just be consistent with the.
Bylaws.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
The bylaws say president or chair.
I will look that up really quick and let you know.
okay. They're super good. Now, let's see now. I guess I'd ask you, who's the grant manager? Is that
The chair.
the chair? No, wait a minute. Because it says has appointed, the dedicated angel who's responsible for reviewing all grants. Have we done that, or is this a new policy? And we'll need to do that if we pass this.
I don't know if that is part of a job description, if that counts as appointing or
Uh-huh,
not. I don't know.
okay.
Oh, what do you think, Elizabeth? I know you're looking for something else.
Yeah, it's chairperson is the name in the IGA, so we can change that to be.
Okay,
Which are you looking at paragraph 12?
yeah, yes. Says the CDA has appointed a dedicated individual.
Yeah, that's probably dated, that language. I mean, I think my guess is that it was either Debbie or Greg at the time this was drafted. I think since you only have one staff person, it would be Emily.
Uh-huh,
You could change that to say will appoint.
yeah, that'd make more sense than than the policy saying it has been done. It's supposed to be what we're supposed to do, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I think you guys just would need to make sure that you've actually done that.
Yeah,
I mean, by default, it's going to be Emily, but it would probably be helpful to maybe at the next 40 meeting, make sure that you're clear that that's
Mhm.
her job.
Okay, is there any other, JD, do you have any comments?
None now. I mean, I'm still going through it real quick. Just
Oh,
I
okay.
hadn't seen any notes or anything like that, but I didn't have any notes really prior.
So then would we like to wait a month to approve this or
Yeah, I can make it a little cleaner.
the cleaner? Okay,
Is there, Mr. Chairman, is especially to the point on with the exchange and communication of the bank, is there any actions that need to be done now or just for expediency? Because if this is just cleaning up what our notes are now and presenting it, is that something we can approve by like remote vote at sometime in the next couple of weeks rather than waiting for a whole month? I'm thinking about expediency. I mean, if everyone's pretty good with it now and just has minor corrections and cleanup, is that something we can do by vote? I don't know.
do we
You
need to
just
take,
have to notice it. You would
Mhm.
have to still notice it,
Yeah.
and then you could do it
Alright.
by written consent, but you would still have to put out the notice and
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just thinking about expediency rather than waiting for a whole month just for some text edits.
do we need this in place or
Yeah,
right away or?
I mean, it would be good to have in place right away, but. And we can approve the motion with all suggested changes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We could certainly do that, and then we can provide a clean copy too for everybody's records.
And if there's something that gets missed, then we can address it the next time we look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can put on the next agenda if you want.
Okay, but, like to approve it today?
Yeah, I'd make a motion that we adopt the fiscal policy or financial policy with the amendments we discussed today.
Second. Bob seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed unanimously.
Elizabeth, do we need to appoint board members authorized to sign?
That would be good to do. Yep. And while you're at it, you could also make a motion to have Emily be the person who is your grant reviewer. You
Yes.
do separate motions, just not
Okay.
out. Yep.
Okay, so last time this came up, I was considered to have a potential conflict.
Didn't that get squared away?
I got squared away. Yes, it did. So do we want to all be on the signatory page?
I think that makes sense.
That makes
That
sense.
way,
It would-
anybody that's available.
Uh-huh.
Mr.
And
Chair,
also-
Yes,
I would make a recommendation that it go in probably precedence order, so like chair, vice chair. And then I don't know how you want to do the other three, but just so it's in order, so it's not it's not gonna happen by worst case scenario, somebody goes to somebody random to get something signed rather than going through a proper order. So really like signature should be the chair, and if the chair is not available, then the vice chair. And if the vice chair is not available, then I don't know, maybe the
any
county
of the three.
followed by ports, tribes, however you want to do it.
So for making changes to the bank, I would just need a motion stating that you would like to add Joel and myself as signers. Since
That's-
the rest of you, since currently it's Lisa, Jeff, John, and Bob.
They currently are signers,
Yes, and JD.
Mhm.
but our policy still says we need to. But they've been designated by the board,
They
haven't they?
have been in the past, and
Yeah.
then you could reaffirm it. But
Typically, if there's changes to the signature card, you have to redo everybody's.
most everybody, okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
I guess, JD, I don't quite understand why we need to have an order.
oh, I just didn't know if there's,
If we just
yeah,
designated.
I'm kind
item.
of reflecting on my processes we have here, like. It's delegates a chair, and if the chair's not available, it was the vice chair. If it's not the vice chair, it's the treasurer. If it's not the treasurer, it's the secretary. And then we have an order of precedence in the events that a decision needs to be made.
I agree.
I-
That is a good approach, like
Yeah.
just the governance, and then it's clear for everybody who has the primary authority, and it's just another accountability mechanism too. So
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so we'll have a. Want to make a
Should that be
motion?
in the,
Let's see,
should that
first,
be part of the financial policy or
No.
a motion?
we need to pass the financial policy first, don't we?
We did.
we did.
yeah, we did
And we
that
did?
one already.
yep.
Okay, we did, all right, so we are next.
So,
JD, you want to make that motion?
Well,
Appoint,
sure. I mean, guess the question is how often do we have to go beyond the chair and vice chair? Is it very often?
probably not very often.
But certainly the primary would be the chair, followed by the vice chair. And then I don't know how to parse out the other three. If we want to draw straws or flip a coin, I don't care.
I'll be last.
Alphabetical.
Yeah, alphabetical. Well, that'd be,
Geographical.
because that'd be C2IR, Morrow, Umatilla. I don't know how to, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, is that good? Yeah, so I make a motion to
Did,
establish our signatory order for what is it, the bank signatures and grants for the chair, followed by the vice chair if they're unavailable, followed by C2IR, Morrow, Umatilla County representatives.
And can we just clarify that it's the actual reps on the board as opposed
Yes.
to alternates?
The representatives on the board from those entities.
Okay, and also JD, sorry to
Yeah.
nitpick, but can we be clear that you are appointing, the motion is to appoint them as signatories?
Okay.
And we need to add Emily too.
My motion is to appoint signatories for bank records, or what's the full term do we need for that?
Be signers on the bank account.
Signers in the bank account. That would include the chair and the executive director. And in the absence of the chair, then be followed by vice chair, C2IR, Morrow County, and well, actually just be alphabetical because those roles might change too. So chair, vice chair, followed by the other three in alphabetical order, in representatives from their entities.
Okay.
I could have written that better, but sorry. Yeah, because I just realized those representatives might change, or might, the chair might move around.
but they need a name, don't they, the bank?
so
They do, yeah, it actually has to be the names.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it could be two separate motions. One establishing order and then one establishing who.
Oh, that would work.
okay,
yeah.
I might be a little clue.
okay, yeah, so that's the motion to establish order. Is there a second to that motion? JD?
I'll second the motion of the order, right? Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
of the order.
Okay.
yeah. Any discussion, or is that clear? All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Okay, now we need to put names to that would be
So the motion would be to have
Emily,
on, the signers in the banking, Oregon bank account, be Joel Peterson, John Schaefer, Jeff Weinholz, Bob Long, JD Tubby, and Emily Collins.
Okay,
So moved.
okay.
Second.
Dave and John moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Okay, thank you. And we've done that. Now we'll move on to public records.
Okay, I didn't make a red line version of this, I just attached our current policy. And this was more of a question. After, this policy has been on our agenda a couple of times, but it hasn't been officially updated since 2022. It's currently isn't an issue. We've received one public records request since I've been interim, but after discussions with Port of Morrow and seeing how other organizations operate, I think it might be easier if we allowed submission online for requests rather than just making them send it via mail, because our PO box is in Hermiston. Our bookkeeper checks it regularly, but there is a chance for error since it's in the mail. But that's just my suggestion. I wanted to open it up for discussion.
Where would that be at? Oh, submit a written request. Okay.
Yeah. And it could, if we want to, we could go out for written and online, but it might just be easier just to go on, Elisa.
I will tell you that we use online only, so if someone walks in the door to hand us a piece of paper, we still make them go online, because then it is very well documented on the time and date that it was submitted.
Something to be said about time and date stamps. So. Well, don't most of our public records requests, recognizing they come from one particular person, but don't they typically come both virtual and?
Yeah, when they come from that individual, we received one from a member of the public most recently, and it came in the mail. And that's the only one we received in a few months, and so it really isn't a pressing issue, just something since we're reviewing policies that I'd ask.
Mhm.
And we could, sorry, Elizabeth.
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This also still has Debbie Pedro's name on it, if you look at the exhibit A. I think that's where the address is coming from. So this is, so that update would.
Yeah, our address
too.
isn't.
Yeah.
It's no longer our address.
Well, that sure does.
And you could take Schwabi off of there. I mean, just when you're thinking about the longevity of this policy, right? So you could take Schwabi off there. If you guys are getting these by email and the executive director knows what the process is, then the executive director really should be the point of the spear on dealing with public records requests, and then where they need to involve legal counsel, they can. I think this was drafted at a time where legal counsel was very much involved in the public records policy or responding to the request, but that has seemed to change over time. By taking us off, it doesn't mean that you can't involve us when you need to, but it just isn't a requirement that it would go to legal counsel just straight out of the gate.
Well, aren't we talking about public records request form just being submitted electronically through email? So wouldn't it go just to one email address?
Yeah.
And then they would be, if they needed to go to legal counsel, they would be forwarded from.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these names could be eliminated, couldn't they?
Yeah, my suggestion is Port of Morrow has just a submission box on their website. So it doesn't even, and then that from the website automatically forwards it to your email. So they don't have to send it to email, they just fill out a form on the website.
I mean,
So you need to reinvent the wheel.
No. So how would that change this box?
just have one email address.
It could just say submit is done on the website or something on the website.
On the website again. Okay.
Can we make it easy for the public to see it on the website or so they don't have to go searching for?
Yeah.
Mhm.
on that, John.
Hey, we're going through a website update, I'm telling you, it's not right in front of you.
So maybe what would be good is I think that the consensus probably would be is to go to electronic submission via a link through the website. So maybe you and Elizabeth work and bring back Appendix A.
Perfect. We can do that.
Yes. Okay, is that clear?
That's great.
That's good, thank you. Let's move on to the real estate agreement. Are we done with policies?
Yeah, that's all I have. And then, and I guess as you see policies that need updated or anybody
Yeah,
has anything,
yeah.
send it my way.
Definitely, I prefer this method of going through policies.
In a big dump.
Yeah. Yes, okay.
Elizabeth, do you want to start with updates on the real estate agreements?
Yes, I can do that. I think most everybody's probably aware that we are not bringing you updated agreements as of yet. We have been diligently trying to get a response from BRAC on some proposed language that we added to the purchase and sale agreements. We just this morning got an email back from their legal counsel appreciative of the language that we had added to the purchase and sale agreements, but with a list of 5 or 6 questions, just seeking clarification around what do the transfers mean? How is that going to affect CDA structure? And so we need to work through getting responses to those questions. All of which I think we have answers to, but we just need to go through the steps of providing the information. And it does seem like there's a little bit of a disconnect. I think some folks in the government probably know the answers to the questions, but others don't. And so I think some of this is just closing the loop too. So that, again, it seems like the language that we proposed is probably fine, but we need to work with BRAC to get some more answers to those questions. And we want to make sure we're bringing them along as we're going through the transfers, just to make sure that they have comfort around the process and understand what we're doing and why. We also, so that's kind of one of about 6 items that we're working on the purchase and sale agreements. The next on my list is the personal property. And so maybe I can put that on the side for just a minute. We can circle back around to that, but we just need some guidance from the board about whether or not Portomoro would be charged for the equipment. They did get us a list. And John, it sounds like maybe Umatilla County is interested in some equipment too. So just as a board, we need some direction from you about how you would like to handle that piece. So I'll just table that again. We can come back to that at the end. We are working on, we talked about the cost cap for CTUIR last time. I think where we're headed on drafting there is that the $35,000 cap would remain for the work associated with the original PSA, and then we would be treating the new work separately, but it's a little bit of a ball of yarn to try to untangle just how we're going to parse that out. So we're still working on that, and then we'll send JD a draft back to you guys to review once we have that put together. We also have been making some progress on, this relates to the CTUIR purchase and sale agreement, but on the Cleaver Farms agreement. So we have, now that we have the lot line adjustment done, we're moving pretty quickly towards escrow on that. And so out of that, we just got some clarification about how that payment will be handled. Just so you guys remember, we have it was $80,000 payment, supposed to be split between the tribe and CDA. So we just are kind of working through the logistics on how that will be handled. So I think we got good direction on that this last week. And then easements, we talked about that quite a bit last time. We are still working on trying to get you guys a good map to work from, and the legal descriptions for the easements. That's gotten a little bit hung up on the surveyor side, just putting all the pieces together. That is in progress. We will get that out to you. It's not necessarily a gating issue, but I still think we would like to have everybody review that before we get to final signature on the purchase and sale agreements. And then just on the unrecorded agreement, so these are things like the programmatic agreement and the ODOT agreement. You guys on the purchase and sale agreement says those are kind of listed out as things that might be transitioned, but as we go along, that list is getting shorter, which is probably a good thing. It makes the transfers less cumbersome. So we're just continuing to update that list as we move along. So I don't want to promise for the next board meeting, but it certainly seems possible that we would be coming back to you with either final or near final agreements. And apologies, that's just, I thought we would be there by this meeting, but some things outside of our control, despite our best efforts to keep things moving. But that is kind of where we're at right now. Emily, anything that you want to add or that I missed before we circle back around on the personal property piece?
Yeah, no, not really. The only thing I'd say is that the summary of the questions from Graph are, their concern is what's the future of the CDA, if the CDA is gonna stay together and honor our agreements. My assumption is yes, that's what I gathered from everybody, so that's what we'll
Yes.
relay back to them, so.
Definitely, yes.
That's what we,
I think we
that's what,
did, yeah.
yeah, that's what we're working on, making them, just having them understand, that's our plan, so.
We don't
Yeah.
have a choice, right?
That's what I-
Exactly, we're in.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, so.
I do think on that, we will probably circulate those questions and our responses, and we may want to have, just board input before we get back to her. We can try to figure out how to do that, maybe with a special meeting, a very quick special meeting, maybe not, but we just, there may just be some opportunity for folks to weigh in on some of those questions. So.
What about the easement agreement? What are the sticking points on it, or?
Really, I don't think there are, I think there might be some further questions around the easement through, the tribe, property, that tribe in Portomoro. I think you guys may want to have a few more conversations around the longevity of that easement, placement of that easement. If you guys could do that and circle back and let us know where you land, that would be great. But otherwise, what we're trying to do right now is just get it all on a map and pull together the legal descriptions. So, but that, as far as I know, is the only sort of, and I wouldn't even call it an issue, but discussion item for you guys to be talking about and give us some feedback on.
Okay. Move on to, oh yeah, the property.
Yeah, I guess, so I talked to JD about this a few weeks ago, but there's a $40,000 credit that we need to send to C2IR for the transfer of Cleaver Farms. And I discussed with JD how C2IR would like to see that happen, and just to make sure it's okay with everybody, we're gonna be sending them a check at the time of that transfer, and rather than doing any sort of credit or anything, it'll just be easier for everybody's books.
And we have the money.
Yeah, assuming we have the funds, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, other than that, on the discussion of personal property items, the question arose is if we need Portomoro to pay for anything, and I guess if, any other member.
Well, I thought some of that was Portomoro been paid, given it in pay a lieu of work
And
or something.
I did
Yes.
just ask Mark to come down here, but it was over $100,000 that he said we spent on the work that we did out there.
Yeah, so I guess there's that issue. Now, I don't know about John's issue, but how do we
And I don't know what that looks like. I mean,
You have to bid on it?
yeah, well, that's,
Right now, you'd have to bid on it, I guess.
so if that's the answer, that's the answer.
Or do we need to?
So I think that, Lisa's probably the only one here that when the agreement was made with the court, but from my recollection of stories that I've heard, and so take that for what it's worth, right? But I thought that the port was going to be given a generator, now which generator that is, for work that they've done out there to decommission some of the equipment out there. To get it ready for storage before it could be auctioned. Now, if the port's wanting something more, then, I don't know what that looks like, but from my understanding of the things that I heard is that they were promised a generator.
A generator.
Mark, I think Mark's coming down.
So I think the larger question, and we could probably go back through the minutes to see what it says about that, because there definitely was discussion around this issue maybe 2 years ago, Lisa. It's been a while. I think the larger question for you guys, just as a board, is to establish consistency around how, like, the whatever revenue is associated with this personal property. Like, you guys still, I think, need to be thinking about the costs to run the CDA, and I just think you need to be fair across the board, just thinking about how much is this personal property worth? Like, if you're not charging Port of Morrow for it, like, what is the reason for that? How does that square up with your obligations as a board? And same for Umatilla County. If Umatilla County is wanting something, I just think you guys need to think about, I mean, it is an asset of the CDA. And just like you had an agreement around the real property, around how you were distributing those assets, I think you need to have similar agreement around the personal property too.
Yeah, thank you. You got anything to add to this? Are you up to speed?
I know that when the port went out there and did all the work, we had to actually lease a crane. We had Campbell Crane come out and did everything. The port did all that investment on the condition that we were gonna get the generator, the 400 kVA generator for all that work, along with a few other items. That's all I have. That's all I know we have no written agreement, but
Okay.
that's what was talked about at the time. So we did the work, all the stuff in the igloos. We moved a lot of material out there and a lot of equipment.
Did you guys get an invoice for it? Like, do you have any sort of accounting of the value of that work that you did?
I'm not sure if we phase coded that or not. That was a long time ago. It was back 2013, 12.
Oh,
It was a long time.
2015. Okay.
We do have a hand raised.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So this is Michelle Lanigan. I'm the former base transition coordinator. And I do remember when that happened. It was in about 2013. And so you may be able to go back and find the records or emails that have to do with it. But the moving of that generator was about $100,000. And what we were told, and I'm not a part of it, so I'm just speaking from hearsay, is we were told that the Port of Morrow spent about $100,000 to move it over to A block, and the agreement was they would get it back. But I just want to point out it was about 2013, maybe 2012, so you might be able to find it in your records somewhere.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Same thing, so, and it's not the first time I'm hearing of it, so.
Well, it sounds to me like we need to honor our commitment to the Port of Morrow. And then going forward, we need to come up with, if it's a policy, that invoicing or a way to track. A way to track,
Those sort of things.
have a policy for that.
All I'm looking for is to let my public works director know what the plan is about how to acquire a couple of those heisters, so. And if it's bid on them like everybody else, that's fine. I just need to know what the plan looks like. So,
Are you county commissioners in the office? Is that a special deal if we? Or should it go out to bid?
I think the
How would we,
fairest way
how would
is
we
that-
value it?
Exactly, so I think the fairest way is that it goes out to bid.
I know,
yeah, that's fine. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me, so.
that gets the value. Yeah.
Because otherwise, who's setting the value on the equipment?
Uh-huh.
And I will say we made the list based on what we thought it was. There are other items that we probably said would be better off to go out to bid and go back and bid on them
Okay.
if we wanted to.
Do we want to have a two-stage sale? Where we can buy, have value on things, or should everything go to bid? Go to the auction?
Well, I think that at least John and I acknowledged that we knew that there was this generator that was
Right,
promised
that
to
one
the
there,
Port
yes.
World.
Mhm.
And I personally have no problem at all with
With
that,
that.
because that was the promise of a prior
Uh-huh.
board.
Are we still interested in the? I don't know.
We went out there and looked at everything again, and I wish Mark was back down here because he actually did all that work. And we actually have our name on items out there.
Yeah.
I do have that list if you want me to pull it up.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I had a comment, if that's okay.
yes, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure there's protocol out there for other governmental agencies of how you have to dispose of,
Oh, there he is.
property.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing so along the vein of not reinventing the wheel, there some place Emily can reach out to see what that protocol looks like.
Uh-huh.
When we're looking at a policy.
Mhm.
Imagine SDA kind of guide.
Yes, they could.
Well, I think our default position on that was auction, because that, puts it out to bid, you get the payment back based upon whatever value we could get for the equipment. So I think, Lisa, the list that you guys have put together, has anybody valued that equipment?
They came with values with the transfer, but obviously those are dated because they've been out, but they came with a number next to them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we could potentially do that. We could have somebody actually value the equipment, see how that compares to $100,000 that was spent previously, especially if you guys are not wanting the generator anymore. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I don't think we said that. I think it's on the list, isn't it?
You do
Okay.
want the generator. Okay.
So Emily, to the list that you pointed, unless it's something different than what was shared with us, the way I interpreted what that dollar value was, that was assigned to some of those pieces of equipment is what the Army paid for that equipment when it was brand new.
Yeah, really dated values, yeah.
Which we also get those when we buy state surplus and federal property.
So is that how the value of the generator came about?
Well, I think if I remember right, I saw a generator that when they purchased it, it was a couple $1 million.
So what do we want to do? Do we want more information to make a decision, or do we want to move forward with the auction?
Well, I think we're moving forward with the option is just a matter of what's going to be in.
That's going to be in the auction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, have we identified the generator? We know the model and whatever.
That I think is.
What's that
probably-
agreement that we were talking about? It's probably spells that out in that agreement for
Okay.
2013, doesn't
Do,
it?
do we need a motion to transfer the generator to the Port of Mall? Is that where we're at now?
Yes, I think we need that.
Okay, I'll move that the generator that was identified earlier for the Port of Mall be transferred for the work they did that was discussed earlier.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Jeff, moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I thought Bob was gonna pull the serial number out there for a second. I was gonna be really impressed.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. JD, still?
Yep, I said aye, sorry, I was on mute.
All right, thank you. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Okay. Now, do we move the rest of it to the auction, or do we want to set any aside for anybody?
Well, we can set it aside. That's what I was,
Yeah.
that was my question earlier.
But we have,
Unless,
well, tomorrow has a,
Yeah, I think if, I think maybe we would have to offer the same thing
Uh-huh.
to the other members if we set aside additional items,
right,
which would be up to you if you want to.
And then we need a way to price them. So, yeah.
Because they can come bid on them at the auction.
I know.
Might get a good deal.
For this auction, do we need a price? Do we need that estimate?
I think that it may be part of
For the
our,
one 400 KVA, not the,
part of our contract that they add a price
want the other ones.
Uh-huh.
that the auction does.
Okay,
The great picnic.
have you found an auctioneer yet?
We have not gotten any bids yet, but they have until the 21st of July, so
July.
we're hopeful. Yeah, hopefully we'll get some.
do we have any more thoughts on other equipment out, other stuff?
I mean, there's stuff out there that's very usable. I know that
But the question is how to value them. Yeah.
they've been sitting a long time.
Uh-huh.
They've been sitting for 13 years.
About is whatever somebody's willing to pay, is that?
That's about right. I mean, some of it's new stuff that's never been used
Uh-huh.
too, but
Well,
still,
then,
it's been sitting. I know the stuff that was in use, we actually put them into storage. We put oil in the cylinders and went through them and made sure that they would stay in good shape in storage. The brand new stuff that's in crates, we never did anything to. I mean, there was no need to at that time, but it was supposed to transfer a lot, you know, like a couple of months after we did this, so.
When was that,
Yeah.
2013?
Yeah, it's 2013, but there are things that we would like out there, but I wouldn't know how to put a price on them at that. Going
Uh-huh.
through them, but you put them in an auction and go as is, and let everybody go at it.
I think that's the fairest way. So,
Yeah.
to everybody, yeah, like it's still, it's CDA property, so, yes,
The main thing for us was that 400 KVA,
okay. Well, you got it.
perfect,
Okay,
I got a place for it.
okay.
So the other stuff on the list that has Port Moro's name on it, what's that for?
The list that we just put together, that was our wish list,
Okay.
kind of the stuff that we would.
You know what you're going to do now, John.
Yeah.
Since we've already looked at it.
You got an auction preview, didn't you?
This is the 400K.
That's the 400 KVA, yeah. So it's, and the tanks,
That's part of it.
and that's part of it. But there's fuel tanks and everything that go with it, and the switch gear that goes with it.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's part of it.
Mm-hmm. That's it right there.
Okay. Yeah, it's clearly marked with our name and
Okay.
stickers on it.
all right. But Then it's, well, I guess the auction is moving forward. What more do you need than?
I guess we'll just add those items back, the items that weren't the generator back onto our auction
our
list,
list.
and we'll just,
But there,
So I think it should be clarified here because we've heard that it's the generator, the switchgear and fuel tanks. And I think that if the board's agreeable to it, I think that the motion should reflect that. I think that that was probably the original intent when they did it, that everything was associated with that generator.
Yeah.
And not to break it up to 3 separate parcels, but
we better
I
add
think
it.
that the motion should probably, or another motion to,
so is that a friendly amendment to the motion?
you're the Robert's rules for.
I know the motion's been fully passed.
So another motion to acknowledge that it's the switchgear and fuel tanks that are associated with the 400 kVA generator.
Okay, is that, motion, Jeff?
Yes, it is.
Is that everything? Would that cover it?
That would cover it.
I'd second the
And
motion.
John seconds the motion, okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. I was thinking about adding the picture to the thing, but that description was good.
That way
Okay.
there's never any
No,
confusion later on,
Uh-huh. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
honoring what I believe was probably the original intent.
Well, I think I was about to ask the same question you did because I heard Lisa say something about stickers and I was like, wait a minute, does that we need more then or what's the?
So I think get to clarify, everything goes on the list and we'll hopefully find an auctioneer.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Elizabeth, are we?
Not on that
About
topic. Nope. Yeah.
Utility planning then?
yeah, this is just something I have running on the agenda. This is a reminder, we still have $1.1 billion in funding that
Right.
UBC will be getting for us, that we'll have to assign a project to it. It's not pressing right now, but we do have that road project that we kind of have paused, and if we have any more ideas on how to use that 1.1 million.
Are they gonna make it? They can decide. It's in their ballpark. It's in their
We'd like
actual,
them to come up with
they can come up with a plan.
okay.
A quick question on that.
Mhm.
Is there money reserved for after the traffic impact study to finish the ramp?
There's not what I heard from Michelle Owen from ODOT was that her suggestion was putting money aside from each company that comes out to the property, at those sales, but CDA currently does not have.
But you have 1.1 million left, right?
That has to be used before the end of 2028.
Before the end of 2028.
I think, I guess
Yeah.
that's the
Why
that's the year off the top
why
of my
wouldn't
head.
you reserve that for the ramp?
Yeah, that's the,
I think that was after conversations with Robert Eckler that UEC had to decide what to do with that money.
Yeah, probably.
So,
yeah, they were open to hearing ideas from us, but if we'd like them to put together a proposal for us, so we can have them do that.
Does it have to be used for utilities or is it for any infrastructure?
Utilities,
Yeah.
But that can include roads.
but yeah.
So, yeah. So would you
So-
want Emily to suggest the ramp idea as one idea?
it's a good idea.
Come up
As
with
part of it.
something.
Why wasn't that included in the original,
The original design,
what's that? Or,
like the original road design.
yeah, yes,
I
I understand they couldn't do it, but
I think it was just, we wanted to get the road as far down the property as we possibly could.
and then ODOT didn't want us to hook up until they had the plan in place.
And ODOT didn't want us to connect because we didn't have an ODOT.
We didn't want,
Have an ODOT permit.
right,
If that's what you mean.
yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Okay.
And so now we do, or?
We're in the process of getting.
they didn't-
Yeah,
okay.
master plan is step one.
So
They
why
won't issue a
couldn't we get
permit
more
until
money?
Umatilla County issues their
Uh-huh.
go ahead.
Okay,
As far
well,
as I
It came full circle.
Yeah, it's just, it's all back to this one.
government.
Yeah, and I can go in and have conversations with UEC and then see what
Okay,
their priorities are and what we can come up with.
okay. It's a good idea, I think.
And I don't have any other.
Don't have any other?
Nope.
Do we need an executive session?
No, after, unless Elizabeth does.
Yes, we have one item.
He's
And we're-
not even,
Got
But
it.
and was there anything else anyone had? Otherwise, did we do the good of the order before the executive session?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
Our next meeting is. I always like to get that taken care of.
Right. The 28th.
July 28th.
Yep.
Thank you for sending out the calendar invites, by the way. Those are very handy.
Yeah, good. I'm glad so hopefully I am not adding to the confusion, but yeah.
I think it's quite the opposite.
Okay, then we read the statement before we we get executive, don't we?
Yeah. Do it exactly.
I'll let you read it this time.
Okay. The CDA may hold an executive session meeting for the permissible reasons stated below under ORS 192.6602. Representatives of the news media and designated staff and other persons shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience will be asked to leave the room, or the CDA board may adjourn to another meeting room. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision will be made in this executive session. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session and welcome the audience back into the room. ORS 192.6602F, to consider information or records that are exempt by law from public inspection. ORS 192.6602H, to consult with legal counsel regarding the legal rights and duties of a public body with regard to current litigation or litigation likely to be filed. ORS 192.6602E, to conduct deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to negotiate real property transactions.
Back on?
Yeah.
Anything else for the meeting? Then the meeting adjourned.